And to me, that's significant. And that really is going to help with my speed differential as I'm doing applications there as well. There's also a feature called device stage. Nowadays, it used to be called printers, right? Your printers event, your printer stage. Well, nowadays you have printers, you have your digital camera, you have several cell phones, you've got your iPod, your iPhone. And yes, it even does see your iPhone, which is shocking. Now, without installing all these drivers, all of these things come preloaded. And you can go to one location and see and send things to your cell phone, send things to the printer. Much easier to deal with in one location there. There's a new feature for just home users for a moment called the home group feature. And what the home group feature allows you to do is, let's say, oh, this is our family right here of 4, okay? We've got mom, mom's sister, and the rowdy children over here. Okay, not really, but we're going to my story. So, mom's been wondering, you know, Robert hasn't come out of his room since the 90s, so she's been wondering what's going on in there. She can set up the home group feature with Windows 7. It's basically a peer-to-peer type network. And the idea behind it is, not only can I share printers or share internet services, but I actually can share any of the files and services. He could have a DVD in his machine right now, not actively running, and she could use the home group feature to actually play that DVD, but see it on her screen. Does that make sense? How we can use it collectively. So really much better at using the resources. There's even something called printer detect. She could be out on the deck in the backyard with her laptop. She could automatically send it to a printer, whatever printer's closest to where she is proximity. It would detect where she is located. So there's some new little features with this. The only negative in this is computers have to be running Windows 7. So it's a little bit different than some of your other peer-to-peers that you still could use, but this is a Windows 7 feature. We showed you the snap feature, we showed you the jump list, little sticky notes abound. Here are the 6 versions that are hitting the market. Ignore Home Basic, this is not in the US whatsoever now. They have gotten rid of the word Vista Business. Do you remember that term? We used business instead of professional. They've gone back to the term professional. So for a lot of our businesses in Lynchburg, we're probably looking at upgrading to Windows 7 Professional. If you're a large company, of course, Windows 7 Enterprise is the volume license king here. Some interesting ones for home. Windows 7 Home Premium would be great. And this one's interesting. We're starting to see a lot of netbooks. Everybody familiar with the term? It's a $300 machine-ish. Weighs anywhere from 10 ounces to 2 pounds. There we go. Thanks, Keith. These netbooks are great. They're not high-powered machine. The idea behind them is that we can check our email, you know, get all those things very quickly. They're becoming great Christmas presents, believe me. I've got 6 kids, and they're all asking actively for netbooks. They're not all getting them. But nonetheless, we're seeing this. We're going to see Windows 7 run very nicely and lightly on these netbooks coming out. There is something interesting. You can now upgrade any time. So let's say you go out to Best Buy and you buy the Home Premium. That's what you think you need, you like it. But then there's maybe this new feature that's on one of the higher versions and you think, man, I wish I'd bought that one. Well, you can now just go to the Windows Media Center. It takes about 10 minutes and you can actually update that machine to the next level for the price differential. So you're not like married to that operating system forever. So they are doing some upgrade such as that at any point in time. The specifications, the minimum specifications that you need, the processing speed, 1 gigahertz. Boy, that's almost everything out there. 1 gig of RAM, but if you're a power user or a 64-bit user, at least 2 gig of RAM. They said the same thing with Vista, and I never found it to be exactly true because Vista took so many system resources that you really needed double what they actually said. I'm running off 1 gig RAM here, no problems. And you see I've got lots of stuff going, and programming languages. So they actually mean it for a change here. So the specs to me are almost lower than what Vista took because of the lightweight of the apps here that are going on. But one of the best features of this all that we haven't mentioned is that Windows 7 is the first full operating system to support multi-touch. Now, multi-touch, he's got an iPhone right there, means he can take his 2 fingers and expand something or minimize something, flick. And now Windows 7, oddly enough, has it before Mac has it. Mac is coming out with theirs next year, but with the iPhone, you think they would have had it first on their, on Macs, but they're a little behind on this. And we're going to show it to you in just a moment, but you're noticing you can use 2 fingers to expand. Couple negatives, I'm getting fingerprints everywhere. And I find myself in my office here at CVCC trying to touch the monitor all the time, thinking it will do what my home PC does. So the only negatives, I really enjoy it, but I want to show it to you live a little bit. The new multi-touch allows me just to touch the monitor to do anything. You say, well, how often am I going to type on a screen? Well, actually, I use it for a daily basis. So let's say here I am, and I'm sorry about the resolution here, but let's say I'm at CNN.com. I can just take my 2 fingers. I'm trying to do this upside down. There we go. And I can re-image my screen, and I actually clicked a link, sorry. Hard to do it from up here. I can resize the image on my screen any which way that I want right here. If I need to type, no problem. I can come up to the web address and I can pull open a keyboard. You've seen the keyboard pop in there. Let me get that a little bit better on screen. And I can touch screen and do all these kinds of things. I like it especially because what you're looking at is a tablet. So it can just flip it over, and without ever using a keyboard, I can do full access to the computer. I'm now going to just talk to you about a home situation. Media Center has really improved. And with Windows Media Center, I can use it to watch my movies, connect to my television, my internet at home, satellite. You can hook it to your television. You can watch internet television as well without even being hooked up here. So nowadays, they're making this much more adaptable to our environment today. And you must admit, it's looking more and more Mac-ish every moment. Well guys, a lot of cool things are coming out. Well, actually with the voice recognition system, you can just read your documents in Word, Word 2007 or Word 2010. You can paint with your voice, surf the internet. Guys, lots of cool things are hitting the market right now. I invite you just to take a look at things. I'll stick around. I have a few free CDs. If you type my name at Barnes & Noble, I have about 15 different products teaching all kinds of things, movies and that teach different products. Feel free to have my business card, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. Let me turn it back over. Did you learn something new?